Hey guys, my name's Trayton Luker. I am a 25-year-old mixed race male, and I live in Red Deer, Alberta, Canada. I've been spending the last couple days figuring out exactly what I want to say and how to say it, and there isn't no way. There's not a place to start, there's not enough stories to tell you guys that you just need to listen to people of color and the Black Lives Matter movement. If you think racism isn't a real thing in Canada, in Alberta, in your city, it is. I'm not a politician, I'm not a famous person, I'm nothing special. I'm just a citizen of this city, a law-abiding citizen. I'm a father, and I want to tell you that racism happens here. I started my education in this city in 2005. I was one of the only colored kids in my school at that time. And from the get-go, I was treated different, I was called names, and I was excluded from games and activities at recess and during playtime because I was different. Right there, I know these kids weren't exactly taught to dislike me, but they were never taught that I was okay, that being different is okay. The only other person I ever heard get made fun of in my class was the girl who was in a wheelchair. Think about that. A person in a wheelchair and a person of color were the only two targets to these kids in school. As we got older and they learned more things, the name-calling got worse, the hitting got worse, and my self-esteem and my self-worth got worse. I've tried erasing the color from my skin. I've tried bleaching myself to be white, just in hopes that the bullying would stop, that the inclusion would begin. But it never happened. I will forever be this way. And the only way to feel okay in my own skin is if people allow you to feel okay in your own skin. I have a young son who I now have to teach about the ways of the world. We were having a conversation the other day. He was at the park with his mom. She was telling me little boys kept running away from playing with them. And I was like, well, what color are these kids? She's like, well, they were white. And to her, that seemed like a very off-putting question. I know it seems maybe a far leap to jump to race. But I have taken my son to the park and experienced these same things. Little white children running away, their parents giving us a little bit of a weird look. And that's just it. In 2020, I have to think about raising my son the same way I grew up. In a society full of prejudice and racism and non-acceptance. And that breaks my heart. We live in a world where people are valuing property and glass more than the lives that are being lost. I don't agree with these riots. I don't agree with destruction of property. But these people also have insurance in place to replace these things. There's no insurance that can replace our lives. There's no insurance that can replace the pain that I have felt throughout my life. There's no apologies that are going to surface from school districts that have allowed this to happen, from the kids who have done it. But I don't want to raise my children going through the same things I did. I'm consistently asked, where are you from? I live by the answer of Brooks, Alberta. I am a born Canadian, and that's never the answer they take. Because I am a visible minority, it comes again. Where are you from? No, but, they're scared to address the color of my skin, but they need to know where it comes from. As if it defines me as a person. That is the problem. We are not people. We are what we see. When I tell people, my mother's from India, my dad's white, a lot of the time I am told, well, all that matters is your dad is white. I have come to use this as a defense mechanism, as a joke when I explain to people my heritage. I'm East Indian and I am white, but at least my dad is white. That's all that matters, right? I've never been corrected on this. I've never been told, no, that's not what matters. And I agree it is my fault for making this defense mechanism, but at the same time, I see how much people don't stand up to this. How people don't see how oppressed someone has become, that they accept it as their everyday life. I don't want that for my children. I don't want that for your children. I don't want that for future generations. But right now, that is reality. I'm just some guy. I'm not a famous person. I'm not a politician. But I am real, and the pain I have felt is real, and the pain people of color live is real. If you don't agree with what I say, that is fine. But at least keep the comments to yourself. Thanks for listening, guys.